Hey everyone, so welcome back to an episode of Life with Linda. Today is Tuesday. I think it's the 21st, I'm pretty sure. But what I'm making and what I'm going to show you guys right now is a dish that literally I only love in my house. But I love it. This is something that I like to make, and I make it and then I eat it the whole week. Regardless of the week, if I make it on Tuesday, if I make it on a Saturday, I usually make enough just for myself where I leave it in the refrigerator and I have it all week. And even if I'm not going to eat all of it, I'll put it in a couple of little containers, whatever I have left, and stick it into the freezer. This is chicken and dumplings. Now, I love this meal, mainly because of the dumplings, because I'm a carb addict, as we know, and diabetic, so it has to be eaten in moderation. Right now, I'm giving myself a little bit of extra leeway, only because of the pandemic. I don't know if that's an excuse or what, but I just feel like I need some extra comfort, and so I chose to make this today. Okay, so let's get started. Now, what I have 2 chicken breasts cut up in everything is going to be in little pieces, guys, okay? So little chicken pieces, chicken pieces. Then what I have is, I'm going to bring you over here. Don't mind the setup here. I'm going to be getting my tripod in a few days. I wonder if that light, yeah, that's probably better. I have my pot heating up with a little bit of olive oil just to cover the pan. Okay, so I have onion. Okay, this is like a large chopped onion. Now you want to hear that sizzle, guys. Remember, you got to heat the oil up, okay? So how's everybody doing during this quarantine? I don't know, I feel like it's a little bit better, but it's still trapped in the house and all of that. I hope everybody's doing fine, trying to keep busy. That's all we can do, right guys? Keep busy. So I have 1 onion. I have I have probably about 10 of the little petite carrots cut up. Everything is small. Okay, I'll show you. Everything is really small, see? All in small pieces. You want it all in small pieces so it cooks quick, and you just want little bite-sized pieces when you're eating something like this. It's almost like soup. It's like a thick kind of like soup, almost like the consistency of a chowder, maybe a little bit thinner than a chowder. Okay, so I got I forgot my garlic. Give me 1 second, guys. The garlic is never around when I need it, so I will use my minced garlic that's already done in the refrigerator. Okay, I'm going to give this a mix. The heat is on like a medium to high heat. Okay, this is, let these cook a little bit so they get a little bit soft. This doesn't belong in there. Okay, I'm going to put some garlic in. Let's get a spoon. Use as much garlic as you want. If you don't like onions, don't put onions in here. If you don't like carrots or celery, don't put that in there. Put whatever you like in here, guys. But traditional, I guess, I don't know if it's traditional, but this is how I do it. I put carrots, celery, onions, and I also put peas in mine. But I'm going to put the peas in a little bit because they're frozen. I'll just throw those in at the end. They don't have to cook that long in there. Okay, so I'm going to do like a teaspoon of garlic, maybe a little bit more. Like I said, put as much garlic in as you want, or don't put the garlic in at all. Put a little garlic powder, which I'm going to do. You don't have to put the fresh garlic if you don't like that. If it bothers you, if you're allergic, some people just can't have garlic. All right, a little celery and onion overboard. All right, guys, now I'm going to put my staple in, garlic powder. Gotta have garlic powder. Regardless, even if you have fresh garlic, you need garlic powder. It's just a different type of flavor. Whoops. Onion powder. I go by onion powder. Love it. Salt. Everything needs flavor. You gotta flavor in layers. You have to season in layers. Pepper. Now I'm only eating this, so I'm gonna go a little bit heavier on the pepper because I like pepper. My family's not big on pepper. The best part of this meal is the dumplings. Now, you could buy the tub biscuits in the tub, that are already made, and just break them up into small pieces and put them in, or you can make homemade biscuits. I'm gonna make homemade biscuits. I just love biscuits, homemade dumplings. But what I'm saying is you can use biscuits for the dumplings if you want, that are already made, or you can make homemade dumplings. I'm making homemade dumplings. It's so easy to make, and it's so much better. So I'm going to show you. I'm going to make a video of me making the dumplings, and I'll show you that also. Okay, so let's get this going. This is probably at the place where I want it. It's, it doesn't have to be completely done, but it has to be a little bit, because this is really going to cook that long. Probably about an hour. Really not that long, an hour and 15 minutes maybe. So once these are all cooked, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the chicken in, okay? Okay. The chicken's going to cook a few minutes. Then what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to put a little bit of flour in here and a little bit of butter, because I want to make it I want it to be a little bit thick. Now, the thing is a lot of people put in like a cream of mushroom soup, a cream of celery. I usually use cream of mushroom, or I would have put in here cream of chicken soup, but I forgot. Only it's good in here because it's like a binder, and it also flavors it really well. But I don't have any cream of chicken. Now, this is what I have in my cabinet, right out of my pantry, a cream of celery. And honestly, I'm only going to use this for something like this. Nobody's going to eat cream of celery soup. They're just not. So it goes in the recipe. So this is perfect that I can use up out of my pantry and get rid of it, and I put it into my recipe. So I'm going to put this in after I do the flour. I'm going to let the flour cook a little bit. I'm going to put this in, and then I'm going to put all the rest of the liquids in, which is chicken broth, part chicken broth, part water. And then it just simmers for a while. And then at the end, I'll put the peas, and I'll put the dumplings in. Okay, that I'm going to show you later at the end, because the dumplings only cook in there like 10-15 minutes, and then it's done. You can't cook it to death with the dumplings in it, because then the dumplings will just end up falling apart. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick my peas in after the chicken's done. The peas they're going to give off a little water because they're frozen, but that's fine, because I need that to like mix up the flour and stuff. All right, so let's get this cooked. Now, while I'm waiting for this to cook, guys, let's chat. Let's chat about what we have in our house that we can utilize. I really believe in life that everything happens for a reason, and I kind of believe that things happen because they want the universe. Maybe it's not God. If you don't believe in God, ooh, something just happened there. Flame just went on. That could have been dangerous. Anyway, I believe that the universe, if you don't believe in God, it might not be God. Maybe to me it's God. Maybe to you it's the universe, whoever or whatever it is. I believe that everything happens for a reason. And I believe that this pandemic that we're in right now is horrid. I mean, I cry every day. I literally cry every day about hearing about the people that are sick and all the people that die and are dying. And I'm deathly afraid for myself. And I'm so paranoid. I get a little cough and I'm like, oh my God, do I have corona? It's very, very scary. But what I'm trying to get to, let me get to the point, is that now I think people are going to be more vigilant, more careful. Not that you have to live in a bubble. Once this is all over and everything is okay and we're not afraid anymore and all that, we can't live in a bubble, because you can't live your life in a bubble. But you also have to live, I think, a little bit more cautiously. That being said, with that, and also with food in your house and all of that, I always tended to overbuy, just because I want things in my pantry. I want to know that I'm secure. I want to know this, I want to know that. But honestly, I would have a full pantry and go to the food store and buy a whole nother full pantry. Why would I do that? That's ridiculous. So this is forcing me to really use the stuff that's in my pantry and in my fridge and in my freezer. Not that I didn't do that before, but I didn't do it vigilantly. I would have chicken in the freezer and go to the food store and buy chicken. Why would I do that? Take it out of the freezer. laziness. Like take it out of the freezer and make it out of the freezer. So now that's really what I'm doing, and I really, I feel so good about it because I'm utilizing stuff that are in my cabinet. I literally look at my cabinet sometimes, and it's half empty, and I'm like, "Ooh, that's awesome! I used a lot of my stuff." It makes me feel good because, you know, it's hard-earned money that my husband makes. That we go out and we buy food for the family, and you know, you don't want things to go to waste. You want to utilize it. So I think that's really going to be a helpful thing now, is to having people be more vigilant about using what they have. Cans and cans of vegetables. I mean, I can go in my pantry, find probably 5 meals right now that I can make with my freezer and my refrigerator. I'm really going to start doing that. The next probably video I'm going to do after this one, I'm planning on doing a chocolate chip muffin video, and then something with banana, because I have bananas that are rotting. I don't even know if they're going to be too bad as of right now. They might be way past the point. If not, I'm going to try to make something with them. I was going to put the bananas into chocolate chip muffins, but my husband doesn't want bananas in his chocolate chip muffins. So I'm just going to make the chocolate chip muffins. But after a couple of these videos that are going to come out, I want to do a segment where I pick one thing out of my refrigerator and freezer each day, and I make something out of there. That's what we have to do, and that's what this whole thing has really shown me, that I can utilize what I have, and that I don't have to, you know, have so much in stock that I have to use what I have in stock and then refill again. That's what you have to do. So that's, you know, it's shown me a lot. It's shown me a lot of things, and you know, nothing good can come out of this. People dying, people sick, all of that horrible thing. But you know, maybe we can learn from this stuff that we are forced to go through. Nobody chooses to go through this. We're being forced to go through this. So let's try to have some good things come out of it, guys. Okay, if that makes sense. All right. So all my talking, this chicken is done now. No, it's not done. It's not done, but it's, you know, it's definitely halfway there. See? Okay. So all that's cooked. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take. Where's my cup? I'm going to take a cup of all-purpose flour. Maybe not so much a cup. I'm just going to see what it is. I'm going to put this light on a minute, guys. I don't know if you guys can see this. I'm going to put about a half a cup of flour in. Okay, where's my fork? You get a fork. I'm going to mix the flour in, because you want the flour to cook out. I'm going to also put a little bit more. I'm going to put a little bit of butter. Here's my butter bit, guys. Just a little bit. About 2 tablespoons. Okay, let this butter cook out. This flour cook out. I'm telling you, you know, I've been getting up, and I've been, you know, getting up in my pajamas, putting on another set of pajamas, like my day pajamas, and I haven't put makeup on or anything. Today I said, you know what? I'm going to force myself. I'm going to put some makeup on, make myself feel a little bit better, and get a video going. I've been procrastinating about videos, and I love doing this, but I just needed to get myself going, and this is it. So this is why I'm showing you this today. But yeah, I put a little makeup on today, guys. All right, so we have to wait a couple minutes for this flour to cook out a little bit, because you don't want to eat raw flour. Okay, you want the flour to cook out. But like I said, this is going to thicken it up. Now, like I said, you don't always have to use the flour. If you don't want to, just use a couple of cans of the soups. But I only have the 1 can, so I figured 1 can of soup, and then the rest I'll do with the flour to, you know, to thicken it up a little bit. And if it gets a little bit too thick, if it's too thick for you, you could always add chicken broth or add water, vegetable broth, whatever you have. You don't have the broths or the bouillons, use water. Water is fine, because it's flavored with all the veggies and the chicken and everything. Everything will flavor the water. It'll become like a broth. It's not going to be like just water. You know what I mean? All right, so it's cooked out a little bit. It's going to take a few minutes because there's a lot of stuff in here. Okay. Now, I didn't season the chicken, so I'm going to put a little bit of salt. Not much salt, because you got to be careful with salt. Okay, you can't go crazy, because you can't take salt out, but you can always add it. So you're better off going a little bit lighter. You can always add a little bit more onion powder and a little bit more garlic powder. Okay, another minute, and then I'm gonna put the peas in. You know what, I think I'm gonna put the peas in later because the peas have been sitting out. I don't want them to like be soggy. I think I'm gonna put the peas in later. I don't want them to get soggy. That's not a big deal. All right, this should be good. Now it looks like a big clump, guys. I'll show you. Okay. See? It's all kind of thick and the flour's all coated on all the vegetables and stuff. This meal, I'm telling you, I literally, I don't even know why, but I dream about this. If I make this, I get so excited. I'm like, oh my God, I have chicken and dumpling in the refrigerator. It's just so comforting to me. I don't know. It reminds me of growing up. My mom and one of my sisters used to make it a lot, and I just love it. I love it. And everybody else doesn't like it, so good, more for me. I don't have to worry about anybody eating it. Pain in the butt family. All right. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to open this can of celery soup. I'm going to put this in. Can of cream of celery. Put that in. Now what I'm going to do so I don't waste anything, and which is a really good tip with anything you do, guys, is whenever you put canned tomatoes or canned anything, you put a little bit of water. I'm going to lower the flame a little bit because I think it's way too hot. I'm going to put a little water, about half a cup. Actually, I'm going to use a whole can of water, because this way you get all the stuff that's in here out, and you need the water anyway. Okay, so just give it a little mix. No waste. Try to not waste anything. Okay? All right. The cream of celery soup is in here now. Cream of celery has a lot of flavor in it. Obviously, celery and all that. I have celery in the pot already, but that's going to really, really flavor it more. Okay. Give that a good mix. Well, this looks yummy just like this. I'm going to eat it just like this. I'll show you. See? That's the cream of celery soup. Now I'm going to put in a container of chicken broth, okay? Like I said, it could be vegetable broth, beef broth, whatever you want. It's just going to flavor it. It's not going to do anything else. Or if you don't want to put water, you can put water and then put a couple of bouillon cubes or put hot water in like a cup and melt them in there, and this way it'll become like a broth. You could do that too. But water's fine with me. I don't really use bouillon cubes too much. They're always in my cabinet just in case I run out of chicken broth. I just feel like sometimes they're very salty. You know what I mean? So you can't go overboard on bouillon cubes either. To me, they have a lot of sodium in them. They're very salty. But for in a pinch, if you need a couple for chicken broth, throw them in. That's why they're always in my cabinet. Now, this looks pretty good. The consistency looks pretty good already. It really does. And once this boils up, it's going to get a little bit thicker. But I think I'm just going to add a little bit of more water. Maybe one more can of water. Because you want it to be kind of thick, like I said. You don't want it to be like soup, but you don't want it to be like thick chowder, okay? This is really the consistency that you want. This is nice. And this doesn't look like a lot, but this is plenty for me, honey. Plenty for me. Okay, see? That's what it kind of looks like, if you can see that. All right, so I did everything. I put everything in except the peas and, of course, the dumplings. This is going to cook. I'm going to simmer this on medium to low, probably more medium for like 30 minutes. Then I'm going to assess it and look at it and see when it's getting close to done. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the dumplings. So let me go and clean this mess up, get the dumplings going, and I'll come back when I'm making the dumplings and I'll show you how we do the dumplings and we put them in there and then we eat it. Oh, mamma mia. So good, guys. All right, so I'll see you guys in a few.